Hey everyone, in today's video, I am doing a quick little roundup with 5 free holiday activities that you can use in your K-2 classroom. Over the last few years, I have shared plenty of holiday themed activities for you to do with your students. I have this gingerbread video right here, some of my favorite December activities, as well as Christmas or holidays around the world. This video itself is going to be a little bit of a roundup video where I am taking some of my favorite freebies. Some are from those videos, some are brand new, and I'm going to share them with you in case you want to use them in your classroom. Now, I don't know about you, but Christmas this year, when it falls on a Sunday, our school up here in Massachusetts, they actually go all the way to the 23rd. So they have a half day on Friday the 23rd. And then they get, Christmas break starts after that. So this year it happens to be kind of a long December month, but it's a-okay. That might just mean you need a few more holiday activities, and that's what I'm here for now. If you're ready to see these activities, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. Alright, freebie number 1 I wanted to share with you helps you teach your students holidays around the world. Now, I love teaching about all sorts of different holidays. We learn about Christmas in America, Christmas in Italy, Christmas in Germany, Diwali, Hanukkah, Las Posadas, Kwanzaa. I love teaching students about all the different holidays that are celebrated around winter time. Now, Diwali, of course, has already passed, but usually since it's celebrated in November and sometimes October, I like to mention that holiday as well. We have a couple students at our school that celebrate Diwali, so I always include that in the holidays around the world. Hanukkah is coming up, Las Posadas is coming up, and the different variations and celebrations of Christmas are also coming up as well. So let me show you how this freebie works. Hey everyone, so here is what the holidays around the world slides look like. And basically what you will do is it is just a place to house all of our information that we are learning. So you would simply pick a day. Let's pretend we want to learn about Christmas in Germany. And we will go to slide 4. Here I attach some kid-friendly videos talking about what Christmas in Germany looks like. Also, if you have a book that you want to read, you could add a little book here that is over on YouTube if you wanted a recording of it, or if you want to read aloud your own book. And then as a class, you can kind of write about what you learned here in the slide. So this would be like a whole group type activity. You could also, of course, give this to each of your students to do independently, and they could watch the video and then they could type what they learned, or they could read a book, however you want to do it. You are, of course, are making a copy of this, so you can, if you don't like this video or if you want to do a different one, you could simply delete this and insert a new video for them to watch or a new book, and they can type what they've learned. And then they go back to the first slide, and if we already learned about Christmas in Germany, we put a star over it. That way we know, so we can kind of keep track, and then we can learn about Kwanzaa. You could have students pick. Again, we have a kid-friendly video here. This is the Sesame Street video all about Kwanzaa, so they could type more information. You could add more books here. You could read a story aloud, however you want to do it. So it's very flexible, but this is just a fun way for students to learn new information and talk about it together as a class. Freebie number 2 I have for you is all about the Gingerbread Man. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, last year I did an entire video with tons of fun gingerbread themed activities. If you wanted to make it like a whole week or a whole gingerbread day, I talk about some of my favorite gingerbread renditions of the story, as well as different STEM activities, literacy and math, all sorts of fun activities surrounding the Gingerbread Man. But also in last year's video, I shared a free cut and paste retelling activity that you can do with pretty much any of the traditional retellings of the Gingerbread Man story. So it'll work with plenty of them, and it is a simple cut and paste that looks like this. It is one page here where you have the boxes in order, and then you have this page here with all the little pictures, and then depending on your version, I say this in the other video, but I'll say it here too, if one of these parts doesn't happen in your story, you can either omit that part, or as you're passing this out to students, you can have them draw a big X over that picture box. So that way when they are doing their retelling, they won't include that one. And they simply cut and paste the pictures in order from what happened first all the way to the end of the story. Once that is done, once they have their little storyboard of pictures, I do like them to extend the activity by facing a partner and retelling the story to them. And I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning of this video, but like in every video, every freebie I mention or anything I mention in the story will be linked in the description for you to grab. Freebie number 3 that I have for you is a brand new one, and this is a vocabulary freebie to kind of walk through some vocabulary words that your students might hear around the holidays. Now, I have done 2 videos in the past on vocabulary. They look like this right here and this right here. And in those videos, I share some great vocabulary activities that are good to develop your students' both breadth of vocabulary, so how many words they know, as well as depth of vocabulary, how well they know each word. So if you want to know more about teaching vocabulary to your students, those are great videos to take a look at. But also, just so you know, next week on Sunday, I know the school season is kind of wrapping up before we go into a new year, but I have a big video coming out on effective vocabulary instruction, as well as some good steps to follow when teaching vocabulary to your students, so be on the lookout for that. I actually shared another vocabulary freebie like the one I'm going to share with you now last February. I did it to kind of align with the Winter Olympics as well as the Super Bowl, kind of events that are happening in your students' lives where they might know, and I picked 5 words to go along with each of those, as well as activities that are research-based and really get students to think deeper about these words. So I will go ahead and link that down in the description along with this one that I'm going to share with you now. So these are the 5 words that we picked out for the holiday season. We picked tradition, connection, jolly, thoughtful, and lively. And we picked some tier 2 words that your students will likely have, and none of them are directly related to Christmas or Hanukkah or any specific holiday, more just like the holiday season. In the mini unit, we have some word cards for you to display. We also include kid-friendly definitions along with some sample sentences for you to use with your students. A great activity when introducing new vocabulary is to give some examples and non-examples. So here we have some cards where I will ask, is this an example of a tradition based on what we learned? And then I read a little story and they give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down and explain why. I also include some photographs so students can take a look and see which of the 5 words they think is represented in this photograph. And a lot of times students can pick either 1 or 2 of the words to really describe it. There's no right or wrong answer as long as their explanation is shown in the photo. And then of course we have some independent activities for students to fill in the blank, match definitions, and then also practice using these words on their own. Just like the Winter Olympics one, I decided to make this a free activity for you. If you are in the SJT Literacy Club, I have about 3 different mini units like this already included, and there's going to be a bunch more added this upcoming year, which I am very excited about. But again, I will have the Winter Olympics / Super Bowl one. Those words are like perseverance and like trying hard, trying to get to an elite level in things. So it would work with many different championships of sports and things like, again, that Winter Olympics. And I will go ahead and link these winter holiday ones down below. And last but not least, I have 2 freebies that are oldies but goodies to use around this holiday season. The first right here is called Run Run Rudolph, and it is a math game. Here students will each need a game piece, and they are going to play either the addition or the subtraction version of the game, so it's up to them. So students will need the game board, and then they will need either the addition or the subtraction sheet based on what you guys are playing. For the addition version here, you can see that students will roll 2 dice and find the sum, and then they will move according to what the sheet says. And the first person to make it to the finish wins. With subtraction, it is similar. They will roll 2 dice and they will subtract the smaller number from the larger number and move that many spaces. And again, whoever makes it to the finish line first is the winner. And the last freebie I have for you is called Pick a Present. It is similar to Run Run Rudolph, except that instead of reviewing math skills, we are working on some phonics skills. So it looks like this right here. It is just a simple game board along with a bunch of present cards, and students will simply flip the card and they need to read it aloud. And if the word has a short vowel sound, they will go ahead and move 1 space. And if it has a long vowel sound, they will move ahead 2 spaces. And then if a student happens to flip one of the stocking cards, they actually get to move their opponent back to the beginning, and the first person to make it to the finish line wins. So both that game and the Rudolph game are just fun little review games for students to practice racing from start to finish. So there you have 5 different freebies to help you get through these last couple weeks of school by helping students review skills, learn a couple new things, and really just keeping them entertained until the holiday break. We have freebies to work on phonics, addition and subtraction, retelling, learning all about new holidays, as well as vocabulary. So I hope you enjoy all of these. Like I said before, they will all be linked down below so you can grab whatever you need for your students. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so I know. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel and click that bell. That way you're notified of every new video. And I will see you next week for some great tips on effective vocabulary instruction. See you in the next one. Bye.